What's up, my fellow gardeners? Welcome to The Garden. I'm your host, Taryn Balzana. New episodes release every Thursday. The times at which that happens vary, but there will always be a new episode every Thursday, so make sure that you've clicked the little bell if you listen or watch via YouTube, or if you listen via Spotify or Apple Podcasts, make sure that you are following the show so that you always get a notification every time a new episode drops. And with that, I'm so glad that you're here, because I think that you're going to find this episode really encouraging. At least I hope you do. And whether you are not a believer, whether you are a new believer, or whether you are a seasoned believer, I think that it meets everybody where they are. And I think that it is encouraging to all the different stages that you might be in your walk with God. So, with that being said, let's dig in. Romans 12:1 in the NIV version says, "Therefore I urge you, brothers and sisters, in view of God's mercy, to offer your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and pleasing to God. This is your true and proper worship." Now we're going to jump right into it, and I'm going to say we all have a past. And at one point, if not now, we've all had the thought, there's no way God can use this. There's no way that I can come back from this. There's just no way. In enters my friend Moses. Now, there's a plethora of people in the Bible who could tell you just how wrong you are for having that thought. But today, we're going to use Moses, a murderer. But he was going to have a burning bush moment that would ignite the rest of his life. At 80 years old, Moses' life was nowhere near over. You see, at the burning bush in Exodus 3:2-5, it says, "And the angel of the Lord appeared to him in a flame of fire out of the midst of a bush. He looked, and behold, the bush was burning, yet it was not consumed. And Moses said, I will turn aside to see this great sight, why the bush is not burned. When the Lord saw that he turned aside to see, God called to him out of the bush, Moses, Moses. And he said, Here I am. Then he said, Do not come near. Take your sandals off your feet, for the place on which you are standing is holy ground." Now, I know the proper custom for entering into someone else's home is to take off your shoes, as to not get their floors dirty with whatever might be on the bottom of your shoes. Probably 9 times out of 10, though, we're still wearing socks. Our bare feet aren't usually exposed in someone else's house, unless it's your house or your family's house, around people you feel comfortable with. In January, everyone was doing the snow challenge, and you would get nominated and you would run out and jump in the snow and with shorts and a t-shirt and make a snow angel or something, and you would record it and then you would post it on Facebook. Well, I got nominated and I did my video and I posted it on Facebook. And in my video, I was still wearing socks. And I got made fun of because I was still wearing my socks. And one of my best friends said, honestly, I'm not surprised. In the almost 2 years that I've known Taryn, I don't think I've ever seen her feet. And honestly, I don't think she has either. I just don't really like my feet exposed, unless I'm at the beach. I'll choose any closed-toed shoe over a sandal. Back then, though, sandals were all they had. Everyone wore them. Now, maybe it's just me, but think of how dirty people's feet were walking around in sandals all day, every day. Yet God told Moses, take off your shoes, for this is holy ground. Holy ground. God did not hesitate for Moses to be in his presence with bare feet, knowing his feet were just as dirty as those shoes. God asked for it, actually. Take off your shoes, for this is holy ground. Asking for Moses to be present in his presence. Asking for him to meet his raw divinity with his raw humanity. Despite how dirty his feet were, despite everything stuck under his toenails, I know that's gross, but stay with me. God said, you don't have to cover up your dirt for me. I am here. Expose it all. Meet me here as yourself. Bring it all to me. Take off your shoes. Take off the mask. Break down the facade. We all have dirt on us. And we all have some gunk stuck under our toenails. And maybe this might not be your favorite analogy, but I'm going to use it anyway because that's the reality. We all have a past. But in Moses' obedience to be bare, to be vulnerable, God was about to propel him into his purpose to lead the Israelites out of slavery. To lead someone else out of slavery, you need to let God lead you out of yours first. People are never going to want to take off their shoes in your presence if you're still living covered up. You can't preach to someone else to wash off their dirt when you haven't let God wash off yours. Last week, I had some oil from my car on my hands. And I had grabbed my water bottle and it got oil on the bottle. I had later cleaned off my hands and I went to pick up my water bottle and the oil had gotten back on me. I didn't clean off my hands before I grabbed the water bottle, so it got the bottle dirty. And when I washed my hands, I didn't clean the bottle too, so it got my hands dirty again. Not entering into the presence of God bare and vulnerable, and not letting him wash you clean will get other people dirty. If you have not dealt with your dirt, if you have not laid it down at the foot of the cross, if you have not taken off your shoes in the presence of God and been fully present in his presence, it will affect those you are around. Don't dump your dirt into someone else's garden. Your dirt starts getting on other people when your anger from past hurt causes you to say words that hurt someone else. You get people dirty when your shame from your past causes anxiety and you can't interact with people and build relationships because you're crippled by the thought of anyone getting too close to you and finding out what you've done. But can I let you in on a little secret? Something that's truly awesome. Y'all remember the motto here on this podcast? A place where you don't have to come alone because we're all growing too. Do you know what you need for a successful garden? I feel like Dora right now. If you said dirt, you are correct. For a successful garden, you need dirt. I'm not here to throw stones if your dirt has gotten other people dirty, because Lord knows mine has too. I'm here to tell you that if you surrender your dirt to God and every bad seed that has ever been planted in your garden, he will till your soil. And let me tell you right now, that tilling process, that preparing process, it's not easy and it's not comfortable. But he will till it. And he'll get up all those weeds and he'll plant new seeds. And you will have a beautiful garden that will give off seeds to help other gardens grow. All that dirt from your past has a purpose. And it's meant to cause growth. Because if you're not growing, you're staying weak. And you're not going to get very far in this life if you are weak. And you can't just let anyone's hands in your dirt. You need to start with surrendering it to the sun so he can shine upon it and give the everlasting water for your garden to be forever fruitful. 1 Corinthians 3:7 says, "So neither he who plants nor he who waters is anything, but only God who gives growth. The best hands for your dirt to be in is God's. Only then can He use every hurt and every wrong decision. This past weekend, I had the opportunity to hear an immense amount of people give their testimonies. And the way God turned their dirt into a garden that now helps other gardens grow is remarkable. Genesis 2:7 says, "Then the Lord God formed the man of dust from the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and the man became a living creature." God doesn't care about getting dirty. He made you from dirt. He's not afraid of your mess. So don't for a second think that He can't use it. Don't for a second think that He won't use it. Take off your shoes. Throw away your mask. Break down your walls. Whether you're 8, 18, or 80, you're not too young and you're not too old for God to use your story. Walk barefoot in His presence. Walk barefoot in His presence. Surrender your dirt to Him and watch the garden that will come from it. And I say that to also say, Satan will try to dig up the seeds that God plants. This commitment of being vulnerable with God is a daily one. It is a daily commitment to present your bodies as a living sacrifice. It's a daily commitment to lay down your dirt at His feet, but it's worth it. And when you let God plant seeds in your garden and you let Him water them and you let Him be the gardener of your soul and your spirit and your life, that past will help somebody else overcome theirs. Because the world needs your story. And your story is really nothing if you don't let God redeem it. You don't have a story if you don't give it to God. But if you give it to God, He will turn it around. And He will make the most beautiful flowers you've ever seen come from it. You will look back on that valley that you were in, and all you will see is the beauty that God turned it into. But you have to give it to Him. He's a gentleman. He doesn't just take it from us. He's kind and He's patient, and He waits for us to give it to Him. But He's waiting. And He's so excited because He's like, oh, if she would only give this to me, if he would only give this to me and see how I can turn this around. See the purpose that I have in this. See how this is going to help other gardens grow. Be vulnerable with Him. He's not afraid of your mess. And when you realize that, you also realize that everyone else has their own mess. We all have some dirt. And your dirt is not any worse than mine. It's dirt. But the thing about dirt is when it's put in the right hands and it's dealt with properly, it helps things grow. And that's what I want you to do. That's what I encourage you to do. Is to put your dirt in His hands. Is for you and Him to deal with things properly. So that your garden can grow. Because by doing that, it will help other gardens grow. By doing that, God will use your story to turn around other people's stories. To inspire other people. To lead other people to Jesus. It's scary and it's uncomfortable. I know. but it's worth it, and you won't regret it. Don't minimize the power of the cross. Don't keep making a bed in your shame when a fountain of grace is flowing your way. I love you guys so, so much. And I hope that this was encouraging to you. And if you know of somebody who it might encourage, I hope that you send it to them. And don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, all the things. I am so glad that you come here and you use the garden as a source for your growth. Because if it wasn't for God redeeming my story, I wouldn't be here. And every single day, every single week that I release a new episode and I see the feedback and I watch how he uses it, I'm just consistently reminded how none of this would be possible without him. Lord knows. Lord only knows what is on the other side for you when you put your dirt in his hands. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I hope you have a great rest of your week. And I will see you guys next week. Bye.